Hi everybody, it's Pinky. I wanted to talk a little bit today about negative media imprinting and also the effect of word associations, specifically when it has to do with the black community, black women, and how some of these terms and images that we see foster a negative self-image, low self-esteem, and a basic hatred towards oneself. Now, I'm going to start off in the area of terms and words associated to our appearance, or things that are naturally inherent in us that we cannot change. And when it comes to our hair in specific, there seems to be quite a bit of negativity attached to that. There's the word like nappy, and there's the word kinky that is associated to a black person's hair. However, if you go back and if you look at things, there are only three basic hair types. That is curly, wavy, or straight. And that's it. There is nothing nappy. There's nothing kinky. Those are slang terms or other terms that have been attributed to that type of hair. But if you notice, there is no other terms attributed to straight hair. It's just straight hair. There is no other term attributed to wavy hair. It's just wavy hair. So I looked up the definitions of both kinky and of both curly, and I found, nappy, and I found out some interesting things, and I'm going to read them to you. Kinky, tightly twisted or curled, slang, showing or appealing to bizarre or deviant tastes, especially of a sexual or erotic nature. Perverted practices. Nappy, a noun, a garment consisting of folded cloth drawn up between the legs and fastened at the waist, worn by infants to catch excrement. Adjective, hair in small tight curls, curly or having curls or waves. I also came across something called kinky hair syndrome. And this is a genetic disorder with fragile, twisted, kinky hair and progressive deterioration of the brain due to an error in copper transport resulting in copper deficiency. Females are carriers, and their sons with this gene have the disease, also known as Menkes syndrome, M-E-N-K-E-S. Go look that up, Menkes syndrome. And when you do, you'll find other terms associated with this kinky hair syndrome. Now, first of all, I wanted to look at the fact that we have something that's attributed to our hair that is also attributed to deviant sexual behavior. Psychologically, what is the correlation between those two terms? And I find it funny that they use the term kinky to describe both. Is it that they always look at black people as having some sort of sexual overtone or connotation to them, or what exactly could that be? Now, also, nappy is a term that I feel some people now recently have embraced that term. It is a term that is also attributed to basically a diaper, something to be shit on or pissed on. And I'm like, okay, who came up with these words, and why are these words or terms that are associated with us, and specifically our hair, also associated with something that could be deemed as negative? I believe that people need to look at that. Also, when we're growing up, black girls in particular, we don't see healthy images of ourselves except for from those in our communities. Our mothers, our grandmothers, aunts, people at our churches, or something of that nature when we're growing up. We do not see a lot of positive images on television. Now, I'm 39 years old, so I'd say I grew up from the early 70s. And when I was small, the only images of black people that were on the television, or actually in movies, were from these black exploitation films where it was full of sex and violence, and basically, Cleopatra Jones was the only black woman who wasn't depicted as either a whore or a junkie or some other negative, type lifestyle on TV. There were not that many. There were some. Diane Carroll had something that was, pretty positive image of a black woman. But other than that, what else did you really see in terms of black people? In the 70s, the only other person that you saw who actually had a position of power was Lieutenant Uhura on Star Trek. I mean, what is that? And that's a fantasy world, you know what I'm saying? They up there flying around. We're not looking at that down here. But what I wanted to say was, if you don't have anything to look at and emulate that is positive, that is representative of how you look, then you start to go outside of yourself to reach for images to emulate. Some people do. Now, that's when we come into the situation or subject of media marketing and media imprinting. Even today, we do not see many images of black women, normal black women, on television. They're always these super chiseled women, super polished, and poised women who are placed up here that we have. But you have to understand that the media is a craft. It's a machine. They want you to look at something in a particular way. They want to have something represented on there that is a false image of what society actually is. If you look around you, nobody that you know basically looks like anybody that you see on TV. I'm talking about in their dress, in their appearance, in their body shape, type, height, any of that. Those people aren't just the representation of, who we see every day. And then it makes some people wonder, okay, well, then what's wrong with me? Also, when they show us that, the bad guy always gets caught, and that, the woman and the man always get together at the end, or Prince Charming is going to come swoop somebody up, all of that gives people this false sense of reality that, they go by when they're assessing their own lives and their own relationships, and then they don't have anything to go from. Only people really who read books have another balance to what they feel and what they think, because what they see on TV is always crafted to either put up the worst of the worst in terms of crime and drugs and rape and all the negative things in the world, or the best of the best. Everything is hunky-dory, everything is fine, and then they want you to attach yourself or latch onto those images. Now, as far as commercials go and self-image, what women do we see that looks like us that are, on these commercials? They always show you someone who basically doesn't need any kind of makeup or polishing to make them look, a certain way. We are chasing something that is not real, but that's only because they want us to purchase their products. They want us to feel inferior, so that we feel that we need this new cream, these this new makeup. We need to lose weight. We need to do all these things because they show us this image that is not representative of us, and then they want us to purchase their products so we can achieve that goal, when that is not reality. I feel that as long as a woman eats healthy and takes care of herself and her body, she may be what the world considers to be overweight. However, she is healthy. She is not fat. Women in the black community are naturally more rounded. It's not fat. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to make a part 2 also to this video, but I just wanted to bring up some of these things to foster a little bit of conversation about it and get some feedback as to what you all see depicted in the media and on movies, and also in magazines that give us negative attributes or negative things to look at, and could foster self-hatred in oneself as a black woman, either through the lack of seeing it or from seeing it presented but in a negative way. So I'm going to make part 2 to this, but I want a little bit of feedback. Thanks a lot for watching.